right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Saturday, October 26, 2019. If you are new to the channel, thanks for stopping by, folks. We know you're busy. Here it is, Saturday mid-morning. Just got a few things I want to tell you as we come into the new week coming up. It should be explosive, huge. We know IG Horowitz is finishing up his report. We got Durham has turned the DOJ inquiry that they were looking into any wrongdoing over the into a criminal investigation. So that has changed, and now the Democrats or the deep state, even people on the right, are getting more and more upset as they near in. This is criminal. It's criminal to look into how we started something, not how we started it. We didn't find anything. We claimed Russia, Trump. We found nothing. But don't look back at that. That was process. It was fine. You looking into it is politically motivated. Anything they can say because they know what's coming. This goes so beyond Trump. I've been saying this for a few years. We get hemmed up. We get caught up in all the little day-to-day stories and circus act. I get it. But I want to keep focus on a few things here. So I will quickly show you a couple of these articles. Just some, here's a true pundit, all right? Michael Horowitz, finalizing of FISA probe, reporting near completion. Republicans say they can't view impeachment documents without a Democratic staffer present. Got General Michael Flynn's lawyers claim FBI boss Lisa Page altered FBI interview record to frame him. Probably talking about like the 302s. Those are documents. Anytime the FBI interviews somebody, you have to fill out a 302. You have everything on there. That's a document that you do in front of the you don't alter it weeks or months later. That's what they're talking about there. It appears to have happened to get Flynn. Oh, that wasn't right. You should change that. Change what he said or what you asked him. We'll take his answer for what he said there and apply it towards this different answer that we have over here. This is how they work, folks. When they can't be trusted, they can't be trusted. When they're on a mission, when they're on some kind of hot mission, directed by somebody. All right, the FBI party is over. Durham's investigation into the FBI misconduct is now a criminal probe. Okay, so that quickly went from FBI looking for something into it's now criminal. They're calling it a biased, Trump's weaponizing. They're using all the same words and describing everything that they did now that it's at the tail end. Now remember, Trump wouldn't be looking into any of this. Trump wouldn't have had to appear to strong arm the Ukraine government if Biden wouldn't have done the things they did. So everything that they blame Trump for is because it's something else that already happened. They're saying that him looking into Biden's a criminal activity, not what Biden did. Trump or his administration looking into the origins of this fake Russia witch hunt that costed the country $45 million. That wasn't a crime. Trump looking into it is. How much of this are we gonna, follow along with and play along with? It's just noise, absolute noise. If you remember the FISA court rulings, they already looked into this. We've had 2 FISA court judges come out and say that 85%, right here, unsealed FISA court ruling shows 85% of Obama's FBI and the DOJ at the time, 704 to 5 FISA searches were illegal and illegally provided to government outsiders. A report was released in August of 2017 that received no publicity until recently. The report was on a ruling and on the results of an investigation or audit into the FISA searches made by Obama, FBI, and DOJ during Obama's time in office. The report shows Obama and the FBI and DOJ participated in a widespread criminal search and criminal sharing of data with non-authorized entities inside, outside of the government, on the outside of the government. On April 26, 2017, an unsealed FISA court ruling unveiled a number of criminal activities that Barack Obama's FBI and DOJ participated in during his time in office. The report to date received little to no attention. Now, interest is brewing due to the recent actions of Congress in the report that is expected to be released in the upcoming weeks. The FISA court ruling shows widespread abuse of the FISA mandate. According to the report, Obama's FBI and DOJ performed searches on Americans that were against their Fourth Amendment rights. This went on for years. One paragraph in the report states that 85% of the Section 704 and 705 FISA searches made during this time were non-compliant with the applicable laws. So this is a widespread abuse here. In addition to the report cites that at the same time, Obama's DOJ and FBI were illegally searching Americans against their rights and unbeknownst to them. Obama's FBI was providing this information to outside contractors who had no business or legal cause or claim to the information. The level of corruption within Obama's FBI and DOJ is shocking. To date, no one has been charged with crimes or is in jail as a result. Not yet. That's the whole point, folks. This kind of paperwork came out in 2017, and every major news organization had just ignored it. They didn't want to tell you. That's the kind of power that these people had. Obama, like, man, let it, it comes out, it's public, but nobody sees it, nobody knows, nobody cares. But everyone's really concerned about Trump and the things that he hasn't done. But we're going to look. We got to find something when everything's right here. We're tripping over evidence. They're tripping over evidence to get to Trump. Get that out of the way, Like I said with Hillary, when they walked into her office, they're tripping over evidence is just coming out of her ears and mouth, and it's all over the room, and they ignored it. Nah, don't worry about it. We're going to start something on Trump, and we're going to look for 3 years. And then you think if they did find something, were they going to do something? They had all the evidence on all these other people all time and time again, and they don't do nothing. But they made a lot of noise when they were looking for something, didn't they? They made a lot of noise. Clapper, Brennan, they appear to go on all these shows 500 times on CNN. And now that he's getting, well, what do you think? They're looking into the origins. Why? I was just looking doing my job. Obama, it was he who tasked us to do it, by the way. I just want to get that out there. It was him. He told us. Were we supposed to ignore him? Okay, you're bringing up some good points there, Clapper, Brennan, but did you have to go on the news channels and promote false, seditious lies that you knew better, that you knew weren't correct? Nobody put you up to that, did they? You did that. Oh, maybe your handlers put you up to it. Either way, now they're screaming, this isn't fair to them. And how dare they look into the origins? And how dare they come up with some crimes, the things that we did? This has been going on since 2012, folks, well before Trump. Obama weaponized the IRS to go after conservatives. They were spying. He was spying back then on the 2012 election. He made some mistakes. They were all in control. He won. They were able to cover it up real well. They horned it in by 2016. They were trying to make sure they never lost office again. They wanted to have all the detail on side. I mean, other than just spying and using that for your advantage, they created a story, a movie. They created a movie. So it's not so odd that we took over that movie. We just changed a few things, a couple of scenes. Yeah. So the FISA 705 warrants deal with U.S. citizens outside of the country. And this is why you see these meetings and everything going over, oh, they were overseas. But almost like they were directed to be there. The FBI sending in actor after actor, seducing people. They really went out of their protocol here, folks, to get an American citizen. So this Rosemary Collar was one of the first FISA judges to unveil all this. All right. So FISA court judges Rosemary Collier declassified 2017 and James Bosberg declassified 2019. His name just came out. Both identified issues with the NSA database being exploited for unauthorized reasons. We have a large amount of supplemental research to see through most of callers' report, and we are now starting the same process for Bossberg's. However, an alarming possibility makes it important to outline a rough draft of what appears present. Initially, when Collier's report declassified in April of 2017, we were able to start assembling additional circumstantial and direct evidence. I've covered this, folks, a year ago, extensively over her. Not him, because he just came out. We were able to start assembling additional circumstantial and direct evidence. 2 years of releases allowed us to see a little more detailed picture. So if we remember all this, it was a white hat by the name of Mike Rogers. All right. He was in charge of, and I don't know how to explain this in layman's terms, but it's almost like a search engine on Google. All right. We all know there's like a bar there and you can search things. And the minute you type in the Patriot Hour, you might possibly get some hits for something to do with the Patriot Hour. All right. That's a search. You put in a search, you hit return, and it kind of scanned the whole system, the web, and it brings you results. In the spying apparatus, there's the same thing. There's a query search, and you can search things that they've been recording. There's a network, a database, farms and farms of server farms, right, placed around the country, and they're accessing those. Those are hard drives with nothing but information. When they talk about that, they record everybody. They do. They're just not listening to you on the fly. It all gets, it's metadata on you, all right? So anytime an investigation of a severe something is opened up on you, supposedly, they can put in requests for this to be opened up to see a little bit more about you. And the minute they open that up, they can go backwards 10 years, backwards 10 years up to present. And going forward would be a whole nother matter. No, they can go backwards, however long they've been recording on you or all of us, until present, till the minute up of, and they can see, maybe things you've bought with credit cards. It's all of your metadata about your whole life, everything you search, everything you talk to, every text message, everything you shopped, swiped. It's all there. They got your eating habits, your book habits, your social media habits. They know it all. All right. So now, I'm not doing nothing wrong. Okay. When you do, then they have access to all that, all right? So therefore, that's why you can't, I didn't go to the store and buy a 55-gallon drum. Oh, yeah, you did. We tracked your card to here, then we went to the store, we got surveillance, we got it all. I mean, there is no, so they were accessing this, and Mike Rogers, who does a check on the query to see how it's being, all the people out there that have access to this, how they're searching, because there's rules. And he saw widespread abuse. Widespread. So much so, and what he saw shocked him so much that he ran to Trump the very next day. Trump was a citizen. Trump was running. He didn't get authorization. He didn't get permission. Mike Rogers ran straight to Trump and basically told him in Trump Towers, they're spying on you. And at that minute, Trump quit working never to come back to Trump Tower to have a meeting of sorts or anything. And now when he told him they were spying on him, again, this could be that whole Carter Page and then 2 steps over. There's a system to this, folks. Basically, if you look into it enough, if you get the janitor under surveillance in the Trump Tower, from the 2-step over, you would have got everyone in the building, okay? He's got an email to this guy, and then that guy's got an email to this guy, and then that you can jump. You can do that 2-step, 3-step jump over. It's crazy. So he saw this abuse, and instead of Mike Rogers halted, but technically didn't stop it, but he operators used the to and from option almost identically as about the queries for the downstream data review and extraction. The FISA appellate court appointed. So basically, one of the weird aspects of both Collier and Bossberg is both FISA judges did not ever seek to ask why questions. Why are all these unauthorized database searches taking place? Instead, both judges focus on process issues and technical procedure questions, seemingly from a position that all unauthorized searches were done without malicious intent. Accepting that neither judge had the purpose of benefit to overlay any information upon their FISA review, their lack of curiosity is not necessarily a flaw, but rather a feature of very compartmentalized problem. So if you look at these, you do get that. I've looked at them and you kind of, well, they're not doing that. Well, this is what we're in now. All right. The whole criminal aspect of this is coming out. They acknowledged that there was an issue. This is what the Trump administration, okay, so we are all so fed up with waiting and nobody being arrested and blah, 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 blah. I get it. Trump has to exhaust every single avenue. He has to, they started up, without his approval, Robert Mueller, the whole, you have to let that happen. If you try to obstruct that, look what happened. They were already screaming that the whole time. You got to do something. You're going to stop it. We got to put paperwork in, so he can't. And he didn't. Let it play out. And Robert Mueller could have came out and done something, stopped the coup, but he didn't. So therefore, he's guilty. We've said this. And you can see this time and time again through different processes. Trump's brought people in, and everyone's like, what? This guy's from the Bush administration era. Where was he at home sleeping? And I don't know if they brought people in because of crimes from way back then and they wanted to get them put them into a position to possibly do the right thing. Like, you're going to see something happen here and you can do the right thing, and they didn't. Then they were right back out the revolving door to be nasty talking to Trump, tweeting all these things, trying to clear themselves. You can tell, you can see it. That's why these people are melting, and the logic isn't there anymore, folks. It's an all-out scream match of, he's guilty. I mean, we're coming all the way up to this impeachment thing. And at the same time, everything about the abuses is going to come out. And they want to have it peaked, something as big as what the truth is coming. And if you look, their impeachment's a nothing burger. It's like everything else they've had is nothing. But they want this illusion. Trump's getting impeached, and now they're trying to arrest Obama and all these other people. Oh, how convenient. He is politically blah, blah, blah. Everything that they did, it would be Trump, just like everything else. So you guys can see that real easy. That's not the issue. The issue is the people that don't see it. The lies that have been spread. I mean, the media almost lies about everything anymore. I mean, they'll give you some truth on weather in your local area, so you at least buy into it a little bit. Like, oh, okay, they're giving me weather, they must be true. It's all a lie. They've been wrong. They've been fed the wrong news. People are scrambling. This is right at the peak of a situation that is out of their control at this point. And I don't even know how to explain that, but that is the biggest fear is the people that don't know, that are unintuned, your neighbor, your coworker, and they're going to be the ones to flip. We're hoping the MSNBCs and the CNNs, of course, they're going to tell them, this guy's a military dictator. Look what he's doing. He's arresting all these great people that you love and have never done anything wrong. Yeah. No, that's not the case. They've been robbing us blind, screwing us over, selling weapons, racketeering, trafficking, drug trafficking. I mean, you can just keep going and going because they have been complicit. They haven't stopped the trafficking at the border. They haven't stopped the drug flow. They actually stand up for it. We don't need walls. We don't need borders. They've gotten people to, off a lie of Trump Russia for the first election in 2016. They actually got people to take to the streets and riot after he won, based off their propaganda. So these are all laws. They've all broken tons of laws. They want to talk about Trump breaking them. They have all done it. Why have they not been arrested yet? You'd think the minute they one for one, they can be getting arrested. I don't know. I think we're getting ready to see about a 70 to 80% cleanse of DC. Or can they not all go down because it would just collapse the whole governmental system? I mean, I don't know the extent of all their crimes. Maybe some people have able to take little deals. They were only blackmailed. It was some procedural paperwork they signed off on that they shouldn't have, as long as nobody died as a result. Maybe not everyone, we know not everyone has to go to jail. It would be, or other crimes, tribunals, regular courts. Just depends on where they're at and what they've done. Lots of questions. Hopefully we get some answers, folks, as we move forward into this next week. We could only assume and look at all the good evidence that we have, and everyone's like, oh, it's gonna be like every other time. Ain't nothing gonna happen. It's gonna be some slap on the wrists. I don't think so. I've never in my lifetime, I don't know about you, this is something you could ask yourself. Typically you get, Obama came in after Bush came in after Clinton. They didn't spend a year of their first year in administration as president slamming the other person, talking about crimes, talking about treason, talking about sedition, talking about they should be locked up. They didn't do that because that was a system of what it was. Now, you would see Bush slam Clinton maybe a year in, but it would be over like a little law, or someone would hit him up on something. He's like, well, that was, Clinton did it. I'm just following procedure. So it was never a tax like it is now. Well, that was because they were presidential people and they had Trump's not. No, it's because it was a complicit system that never ratted on each other and never exposed any crimes, because they were doing crimes too. That's the bottom line. All right. This crosses both party lines. We've said it. I've said it here. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I am almost a constitutionalist. Whoever I see following that to the best of their ability in this day and age, I have to support. I'm not saying everyone does it correctly, 100% right. There are some infringement. We don't like it, but we're getting the best we can. Our whole Constitution has been usurped by the 1871 Organic Act of D.C. So a lot of people still like to hold on to something that they've already done usurped that we need to fix. And it's not about individuals getting out of it and straw man theories all that is legit in ways, but it's not a personal thing. You'll never get out of that system alone. You'll never be able to operate in this country out of that system they've put in play over everything. It needs to be lifted. The veil needs to be lifted off of all of us at the same time. Trump is doing this border, securing this border, and keeping our sovereignty, because I believe we're trying to get back to our some of the fundamental things that this country wanted. The people wanted. They got away from the rule of England and the King George third or. But we wanted to live like kings here. We wanted to charge other countries tariffs so we ourselves didn't have to pay taxes. Not a lot anyway, maybe very little. Where's that gone? Gone. Because these evildoers came in and flipped that all around. It's almost like the rule of England came back in and put a dark cloud, and they got their way back. They got back what they wanted, what they lost in 1776, and what we took away. Do you not see this? Look at all the great presidents in the 1800s. I think it was Andrew Jackson. What was your most memorable thing in your life? And he said, on his deathbed, I killed off the bankers and died. That was his last words. Supposedly. I mean, it's in the history books. I wasn't there, but how much of that can we believe? But no, I mean, if you just take that for what it says, why would they give us that tidbit of information? I fought off the bankers, and therefore we're going to live good for a little while longer until somebody allows that back in, which they eventually did. All right, folks, we're going to shut this one down. I've rambled enough here on this Saturday morning. It's great to be with you guys here on a Saturday morning. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you're subscribed. The link is down below, or the subscription. Toggle the switch to work with you. Ring the bell. That way when I go live or put out a video, you get that alert. The links are down below for any donations, which we appreciate. Thank you. Share the video. That's another way to support this channel. We are heavily shadow banned, so you liking it, sharing it, and leaving a comment, because there's some of the greatest patriots right here, part of this channel, and they're down below leaving great comments, guiding you, directing you, pointing you in all kinds of directions. Even the head topics of videos have been made off of conversations from down below. Again, here at the Patriot Hour, we always encourage you to think for yourself and do for yourself. We're going to bring you facts. We're going to talk about things. We need you to connect the dots. We need you to back it up, dig into it. Don't take what we say. The days of being spoon-fed auto-truth and accepting it are over. We can't do that anymore. That's why we're in this problem that we're in right now. All right, folks, we're going to shut this one down again. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update coming later today at some point. Enjoy your morning into your afternoon. Where we go one, we go all.